Welcome to Big Blend Radio, where we celebrate variety and how it adds spice to quality of life. Okay, so we're going to talk about more books here on Big Blend Radio for our holiday shopping show because we want to support authors. And I think this is a fantastic book for history lovers and women who like women's history. We've got Kimberly Hess. You know, she's been on the show before. She is the author of A Lesser Mortal, The Unexpected Life of Sarah B. Cochran. And you can go to her website, unexpectedlifeofsarahbcochran.com. So, how are you doing, Kimberly?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Are you ready for the holidays?
I think so. Yeah, we've got everything planned and ready to go.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad
Yeah,
you're ready.
yeah.
Well, I think we're doing this so we can get people ready and to think of unique books, right?
Yeah,
Unique items, gifts. I mean, we've got everything on this show from wine to books and horse gear, you name it. So a little bit of
everything.
everything, which is
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Um, so give everyone an overview of your book, A Lesser Mortal, so that people know what it's about and about Sarah B. Cochran and who you think would be the ideal recipient of the book. And I want to remind everyone, as always, you can always buy a gift for yourself in the holidays.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
So it is the first biography of Sarah B. Cochran, who was a business competitor of Henry Clay Frick's at the turn of the 20th century in the coal and coke industry. And she was also a bit of a competitor of Andrew Carnegie's in philanthropy. Sarah became a regional philanthropist in Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio. And some of her work, such as at Allegheny College, sometimes overlapped with Carnegie's philanthropic work. But unlike Carnegie and Frick, she was also a suffragist because she had to fight for her own citizenship rights as a woman at that time. So she's a very interesting example of a capitalist in the Gilded Age in the early 20th century and not someone we always think about.
Mm,
So, if you're from Western Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, or have an interest in American industrial history or suffrage or philanthropy, her story is a great one. Plus, ever since I wrote this, the Metropolitan Museum of Art acquired the Tiffany window that she commissioned for her home in Western Pennsylvania. And it was just unveiled at the beginning of November. So if you have an interest in Tiffany windows and happen to be visiting the Metropolitan Museum of Art, you can see that. You can read about
it's
Sarah
amazing.
in the book, yeah, which is right here.
Yeah,
And it's
I love that.
um, it's meant for a general audience, so you don't have to have any prior knowledge of regional history. I tried to provide context for the information that's in it so that someone can read it and absorb it rather quickly. And I'm getting good feedback from people from all different backgrounds who have varying degrees of interest in
Mm.
history and genealogy and different
Mm.
subjects that touched Sarah's life.
And are men reading it as well,
Yes.
besides women?
Yeah, because interestingly, she was always just considered part of local history in that area. So she's had a lot of support always from both men and women. And I
Mm.
wrote it thinking that, I want men and women to write the book, to read the book. So, it should be interesting to anybody who is interested, or if they're even thinking of telling a story about someone in their own family or community who's been left out of the larger historical narrative, which is the case for Sarah.
Okay.
This is a good example of how one person did this.
I also think, in the world right now that we need to shine the spotlight more and more on women and what they've done in history because it's been, I mean, we do a lot in March, right? We have
Mhm.
International Women's History Month, but I feel like we need to shine the spotlight on women that people may not know about.
Right.
We're always like unearthing these stories across the country and around the world. And the way things are in the world, I feel like we need to like bang some drums a little bit. So, so I think these stories allow us to have hope and moving forward as women. And it's not just, the workplace. We want more equality in the workplace. And also even in regards to philanthropy, which is also a workplace at times, right? So.
Right. And she's an interesting example of someone who was very supported by her husband. It was her husband
Mm.
who left an entire business portfolio to her when he passed away. So it's nice to see that example of a man who's very supportive of a capable woman. And in telling Sarah's story, we also get to discover her father-in-law's story, which was eclipsed by Henry Clay Frick. Sarah's father-in-law actually pioneered the Connellsville coke industry that Frick eventually dominated, but people have forgotten who else was there because Frick became the name associated with it. So it tells
Okay.
a few different people's stories too.
That's cool. That's cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you found it. Tell everybody how you found this story.
Well, I grew up knowing a little bit about her because she's my great great grandmother's cousin, and she put my great grandmother through college in 1917 as part of her philanthropic work. So several years ago, I was taking my husband to Western Pennsylvania for his first visit there, and I showed him Linden Hall and a Cochrane Church that Sarah built and told him about her. And he said, you know, when I Google her name, I can't find anything. So have you thought of writing a Wikipedia entry? So I did that, and I just kept finding more information when I started to research her for that. And I continued until her first biography was the next step to take. And I've been speaking about it on NPR and at the Heinz History Center and various organizations ever since then.
Yeah, who knew one little trip, huh?
Yeah,
One
yeah.
little trip. I mean, we never run out of things to talk about with her
No,
either, you know?
yeah,
And so, and even the education, that was something, over the shows that we've discussed her, just knowing that how she helped women get educated because it used to be, you're only going to be a nurse or a teacher and that's that, right? And so
right.
she also was open to women getting the kind of education they wanted, right?
Mhm. And an education was something that she was probably never going to have for all of the wealth that she had and all of the other accomplishments. So I think it says a lot about her that she was someone who was interested in educating other people, even though it meant that they might have more than she would
Mm.
in that particular area too.
So would you say she was a mentor in a
I
in a
think
way from that?
I think she had to be, and I know she was also very involved as the mom of the Phi Kappa Psi West Virginia Alpha chapter
Mm,
at West Virginia University, and she would invite that fraternity chapter up to Linden Hall, her mansion. I have to believe that she was helping those young men to network if they were interested in coal professions and
mm,
railroad careers and so forth, where she had um, connections. So
mm.
I'm sure she was mentoring and helping men and women from those areas.
Yeah, no, which is really it's important. I think
Yeah.
mentors are, golden. If you can get a mentor, no matter who you are, what walk of life, it's even, when as we age and in our different careers that we all have, because it's always good to have someone to help you along the way, and even
Yeah.
just on your personal side of life.
It's
So I think, and
invaluable. Yeah.
yeah, and I think your book helps with that too. Books are part of that. Books
Mhm.
are education. So what a great gift. And everyone, it fits in a stocking really
Yes, that's
easily.
true. It's a paperback, so I wrote it so that it wouldn't be the 400 or so page biography that people don't ever have time to get around to reading. So it does fit in a stocking or, in any small gift bag. So, and
Mm.
it's priced at, I think, 19.99 at this point, so it's not unaffordable for people.
And if people want to do like the ebook, like the Kindle, they can still gift online that way, especially when it gets close to the day of, maybe Christmas or, yeah, that's a way to do it, right?
Yeah, it is available as an ebook on
Mhm,
Amazon, and I don't know about other providers if there's an
mhm.
ebook on there or not. I think there is, but I haven't looked into that.
Okay, the Amazon. And the other thing, I look at those celebrating Hanukkah. Look how many
Hmm.
gifts they have to give out. I'm thinking like
Hmm.
a book each day of Hanukkah. I'm just
That's
saying.
true. Yeah, for a
That would be a
voracious reader. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, thank you so much, Kimberly. Oh,
Thank you.
everybody, her link to her website address is in the episode notes, but you can go to unexpectedlifeofsarahbcochran.com bigblend.com. Thank you so much. Happy
Thank you for
Christmas and
having
happy
me.
holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you too.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio. Keep up with our shows at bigblendradio.com.